It's the rally that traverses the lush forests and farmland of the scenic Coromandel Peninsula. And New Zealand's WRC star Hayden Paddon returns home to tame the stages at his Hyundai i20.
We're here at Coromandel Rally because I'd like to take every opportunity I can to rally in New Zealand. If we could, we'd be doing the full championship, but this is one of the rallies that fits within their calendar.
2016 winner Australia's Brendan Reeves is back in a new Mazda 2.
I came here last year and we won. I've come again in 2017. There's fiercer competition, but we're going to give it a red hot crack.
And that's providing plenty of motivation for the regular Kiwi competitors.
We've come here to be competitive with the two international stars that are here to fight for the rally win as well.
First time on this amazing part of New Zealand doing a rally, but there's so much more to achieve and so much more to do. This one's going to be a real challenge.
And Matt Summerfield wants to stay ahead in the championship.
I've come here to Coromandel leading the championship, and at the end of the rally I'm going to leave leading the championship.
We come into this event 14 points behind, but I want to be leading at the end of this rally, the championship at the end of this rally.
Welcome to the Rally of Coromandel in the beautiful seaside resort of Whitianga. And what better way to experience this jewel of New Zealand than arriving by sea? We're here at Whitianga Sports Grounds, Rally Central for this weekend's action. And what a fantastic season we've had so far. At the halfway point, there are only 14 points separating the top three teams. So let's have a look back at the last round, Rally Canterbury.
There were plenty of surprises at the Lone Star Rally Canterbury. Andrew Hawkeswood lost power steering and a heap of time in service after stage 2. Emma Gilmore withdrew with a cracked inlet manifold, but not before her car spun at high speed without warning.
Keep it going.
Come on, Sarah.
Dylan Turner lost a radiator as he passed a stricken Sloane Cox and returned the Audi with engine damage. But out in front, Matt and Nicole Summerfield were in a race with Darren Galbraith for the lead, until Galbraith's engine failed after stage 4, handing Summerfield the lead. He was able to ease off the pace through the afternoon as snow fell on the stages. Ben Hunt was greatly improved and moved into second in the closing stages of the rally. The final power stage at night saw Greg Murphy post second fastest time. Hawkeswood made a comeback to win the power stage and finish 5th overall. Ben Hunt was on fire in second place, but it was Matt Summerfield who scored his home rally win to move into the championship lead. So with 3 down and 3 to go, the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship is still wide open at Goldrush Rally Coromandel.
I reckon there's 8 or even almost 10 people in this field that can win this weekend. So, obviously if everything goes to plan, it should be Hayden, Brendo, and then the rest of us.
I think it's great, you only get better with competition. Hayden and I used to rally against each other back in 2008, 2009.
I know Brendan very well. He was one of my main rivals only 4 or 5 years ago when we were coming through the ranks, so I rate Brendan very highly. There's a lot of good AP4 drivers, so anyone in the top 10 is capable of being on the podium. And with the rally being so short, only 120 kilometres, there's no room for errors. A punch or a spin, anything like that, you can be out the back door, so you need to be on it from stage 1.
This weekend with Hayden and Brendan coming over, they're going to go for it, aren't they, and try to chase the rally win. Probably actually plays into our hands a little bit if Hayden and Brendan can take some points opportunity away from the other guys.
Behind me is the latest stage in the development of the canals of the Coromandel. But we're also sitting here on the bridge that is the midway point in stage 7, the tarmac finale of the Rally of Coromandel. So let's go and have a check out of the rest of the stages that make up this weekend's event.
3 stages will be repeated twice before a final special stage at Whitianga. First up, Kennedy Bay at 35 kilometres. And Hayden Paddon seated number 1 on his Hyundai i20 AP4 car. And what a stage to start the day, Patrick.
35 kilometres is a monster stage to start your morning off for any one of our championship drivers. But for Hayden, it's a bit more of a mountain to climb. Off a plane, straight from the tarmac at Germany to the Goldrush at Coromandel.
It's a bit of a rude awakening. Obviously getting back in the AP4 car for the first time, everything seems a bit more in slow motion, but it's always great coming back to New Zealand. It's certainly a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere, and for me this is what it's all about. This is what I probably get just as much, if not more, enjoyment out of and come and driving on some of the best roads.
Stage in, let's see what Patton sets the clock at. 22 minutes 07.8. Now in 2016, Brendan Reeves won this rally in a first generation AP4 Mazda 2. This new car is built to the new 2019 regs and its potential is unknown, but the young Aussie star just relishes the challenge.
Once you go past the start line, it's everyone against each other, and that's the beauty about rallying, and that's why I've stuck to it the last 10 years. You're not racing door to door against other cars, you're racing the clock, and that's what I absolutely love about the sport. Other competitors can't really affect your time, and that's what drives me to push harder and faster. You know, it's not about being sideways, it's about riding your pace notes clean and smart.
Well, Brendan's really taken this car by the scruff of its neck in here.
Into 4 right.
And it may not be about sliding it wide, but he's sure giving it a nudge.
10 left, tighten 7. Well done.
Let's see how Brendan goes against Patton. The man he works with is a note-checking driver for the Hyundai World Rally team. 22.03.7, he's faster by 4.1 seconds.
Then, well done.
Oh, that was tricky. That was hard.
With Reeves and Patton making their first appearance in the Brian Green Property Group NZRC for 2017, they're not a championship threat for Matt Summerfield. The points leader just needs to stay ahead of rivals Andrew Hawkswood and Reese Gardner.
Because this stage has been run in reverse from 2016, all the drivers have to make new pace notes for this event, so this first run will show up any mistakes.
Stage 1 got off to an okay start in the stage, but then worked out pretty quickly that some of the notes weren't quite right, and that just knocked my confidence right out of me. It's just one of those things where you get one pass. I thought after the recce I made some good notes, but they're not quite as good as what they need to be.
And that's reflected in his stage time. 23 minutes 04.7, a minute down on Reeves already. So the pressure is on Summerfield as Andrew Hawkswood will be looking to close the points gap, currently third behind Reese Gardner.
Oh, Andrew's trying too hard there. The Mazda 2 of Reeves has come out of the same stable as the Hawkswood Close Motorsport workshop, so maybe some team tactics will come into play later in the rally. But for now, it's all about being faster than Summerfield and Gardner.
Down through this tricky 400 metres to the stage finish, and Hawkswood, what time will he set? Third fastest so far. Well, this car has been parked in a Coromandel garage for 2 years, but it's great to see Alex Kelsey out on the gravel again in his mad creation too. He would score third fastest time here, 39 down on Reeves. Graham Featherston lives on the other side of the peninsula near Toyota, so this is home turf for him. But a brand new turbo started to fail on the stage, putting his rally in doubt. Now, it's been a frustrating season so far for Emma Gilmore, but her team had replaced a faulty centre diff in the Suzuki, which they believe had been an issue since round 1.
Ooh, that didn't look quite right. These cars run an electronic control which locks the centre diff, but Emma's been randomly unlocking at stages, and it looks like it's still doing that. Could be another frustrating day in the Suzuki.
Sloane Cox not afraid to throw his Mitsubishi Evo 10 around to get the best out of it, one of the larger wheelbase cars in the field, but that has sometimes worked in his advantage as he scores 7th fastest time here.
That's an impressive time for a big old bus like an Evo 10. These are narrow stages near the end here, and Sloane's just driving the hell out of this car.
5 left cut.
Reese Gardner running last year's winning car, and 6th fastest, just under a second slower than Hawkswood.
Reese has done a good job in this car, and he's in a great position to challenge for the championship lead.
Now, the Canterbury Rally was a breakthrough for Ben Hunt as he finally found the pace in his Subaru and scored 2nd place. He was 9th on the opening stage, but less than 30 seconds off 3rd place Kelsey. Carl Davies had missed Rally Canterbury as the team focused on issues in the Yaris AP4, but 10th fastest here was a pretty good start. So after stage 1, it's Reeves and Patton well ahead. Adam Bly a surprise 4th in his Gold Challenge car, but it's Hawkswood leading the championship chase. Unfortunately, the chase was over for Featherston.
Feathers, any chance from grabbing some points this weekend? Got up in a bit of smoke.
Yeah, just like going off the road. Now we've blown a turbo, so yeah, it's a bit of a disappointing. Yeah, she was hooking up good. Didn't do a lot of damage in Canterbury, so I was fairly upbeat about it. We've just changed out the turbo for preventative maintenance, and look what's happened. So yeah, it's racing, eh?
And with both Greg Murphy and Josh Marston suffering brake problems, the RDL team were fortunate that there was a refuel at the stage end.
It's a remote refuel. We're allowed to put fuel in the car, give the crew fluid and food, and change the tyres only. We can't do any mechanical work on the car at all until we get back to service and for the anger. So that's why you see Josh and Andrew doing the work, which is good because my hands are clean.
Coming up on Goldrush Rally Coromandel, Hayden Patton gets a driving lesson and the drivers get more rain on the tricky 309 road. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. He's our WRC star with Hyundai World Rally Team and a real gravel master.
In the back corner, stuck.
He's a 4-time Bathurst winner, one of New Zealand's favourite track stars.
He's going straight to pole.
So could Greg Murphy teach Hayden Patton some new tricks on the tarmac?
Okay, mate. So I've set up a little course. So I want you to just drive, go your hardest, do your thing. I'll tell you where you're going, and then I'll make a judgment. Leave it up to you. I already see a problem.
What's that?
Well, you know, you're cutting the corners, Hayden.
Yeah, it's not about the shortest route.
You know, but I'm after traction. No handbrake, of course.
Oh.
So you're still cutting these corners.
There's no sideways.
Oh, very aggressive.
There's too much grip.
Okay.
That was fast.
That was fast. It was okay. It was okay. I think there's always room for improvement. So I just think I think you're very aggressive, Hayden. Yeah.
Smooth as fast.
Smooth as fast. Yeah.
Smooth is also boring.
That might be fact, but you know we're here to win championships.
Right.
So I think we go again. Right. Do it my way.
Right.
So I think we'll just stay on the black stuff.
I just want to cut though.
I know you just want to cut. Oh, see, that felt better to me. I can feel the difference, Hayden. I can feel it. Oh, corner speeds are up. That's it.
I don't know if it was any faster, was it?
Oh, yeah, it was. It was definitely faster. Well,
did it pass?
I think we can take this off. I think we can.
Do you want this for the rally?
No, well, I probably should go on the back of my car. But, you know, that's not too bad. There's always things to improve on.
All right.
All right.
Still not convinced whose way's faster, yours or mine?
I've got a way to fix it.
What's your idea?
The last stage this weekend, Coromandel Rally.
Super special on top. All right, yeah.
All right. Whoever's fastest, all right, gets to take the other one for another lap around the stage. Hey?
I'm a bad passenger, but I'm up for your deal.
You're up for it?
Rightio.
I actually wouldn't mind
losing.
losing.
That's the most important
I
part
wouldn't
of the
mind
rally now.
I actually wouldn't mind losing this one.
No.
Righto, mate. Good luck for the weekend.
Let's do it. You too.
I'll tear that up.
Yeah, right.
So look forward to seeing that challenge. The rain has arrived for the challenging 15.5 kilometre Corra Glen stage. Patton running first on the road, maybe an advantage in the rain, or maybe not, Patrick.
Roads here are so hard packed they take the water well, and there is plenty of grip out there on those roads by the look of Hayden's driving.
Patton sets the time at 12 minutes 46.1. Reeves with the upper hand so far, but this car will be, well, different again to drive, Patrick.
Yeah, it's a 1600 engine, different power, higher revs, lower torque, and sometimes lower grip.
That's a big spin. Car stall, but he's got going again at
into
pace.
6 right, into flat 7 left, then keep
Ooh.
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Coromandel, Brendan.
So Patton takes the lead as Reeves loses over a minute there with that spin. That moves Andrew Hawkswood into second place, but he's now 1 minute 10 down on Patton.
It's a short 5 left plus and 5 right. 4 left plus.
Ben Hunt improving here, third fastest on the stage, just 1.2 down on Hawkswood.
This is a massive improvement for the Subaru driver. To be able to throw this car around into these corners and keep the pace up, massive boost to his confidence.
Don't go wide, 5 left minus.
Matt Summerfield just 2.5 seconds further back in the stage, but importantly, he's keeping in touch with Hawkswood and moves ahead of Reese Gardner, so protecting that championship lead.
And this is some really smart driving from Matt here. He's knowing that he's got a championship lead, he's keeping the pace up, but he's not trying to put it at risk and trusting to others to do something silly.
Now Sloane Cox just 4.3 down on Summerfield and keeping that pressure up too.
On a short rally like Coromandel has, it's not an event where you can sit back and try and wait for good times to come and work up the field. You've got to be on at the start, get good times down. There's not that many stages really for you to make your way back, and if you make a mistake, it's probably your rally over. You're going to be chasing after that.
Phil Campbell moving up to the top 10 here, partnered by veteran co-driver Rocky Hudson, who was available after the season withdrawal of Darren Galbraith. Alex Kelsey continued to break the sound barrier in the peaceful Coromandel and held third overall. While Greg Murphy was facing a huge challenge to climb back from 57th place after brake failure in stage 1. But the Bathurst winner is growing in confidence on gravel. Stage time, 13 minutes 29.1, just 2.8 down on Kelsey, now up to 38th overall. Teammate Josh Marston also back up and running, but striking a different issue on this stage.
Fast 4 left.
Oh, Josh, I know there's a new cars and you want to test them, but that might be testing it to distraction and destruction. Let's see if he makes it through the rest of the stage.
So after 2 stages, we head to the first service, Patton with a commanding lead, but just 2 seconds separates second to fourth.
Hayden, a bit of a surprise this morning in stage 1?
Yeah, difficult conditions. We're expecting it to be dry this morning actually, so we put 2 hard tyres on the car and got over there and found it was raining. So yeah, that coupled with a few technical issues made the stage not so enjoyable, but hopefully we'll get them sorted now and hopefully I can drive the car the way I want it to then.
And obviously Brendan chose the right tyres for the stage.
Yeah, Brendan had a good stage, so I was lining up for a good battle. Unfortunately, he's lost some time in the second stage, so it would have been nice, but we'll carry on. We'll have a bit of a ding-on battle in the stages and see how it goes.
Yeah. Brendan, you obviously had your Weet-Bix this morning.
Yeah, I did actually. I had 3, so it was a great start to the day. The Force Motorsport Mazda 2 did an excellent time in the first stage, but it was very slippery. The Pirellis, I think, helped me out there. But then the second stage, we made a couple of mistakes. You know, first pass on notes, I probably shouldn't have pushed so hard, but one was a really slow corner, but the problem was when we spun, we nudged into the bank and we couldn't get the car to run again. So we lost a lot of time, and then near the finish of the stage, we had quite a high-speed spin in the middle of the road, and the same problem, we couldn't get it to run properly. So the boys will look over that now.
Andrew, sitting pretty in second?
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise really. You know, we didn't do the best time through the first stage. Just struggled a little bit on the wet tarmac, but no, the second one was better, much better.
And obviously only with Hayden in front of you, you're happy in terms of championship points?
Yeah, we can keep Brendo between myself and Summerfield. I'll be pretty happy, but I don't know, it is what it is. I'm sure Brendo's going to pull the pin this afternoon and go like hell.
Alex blew the cobwebs out in that first stage?
Yeah, that's true, but man, I hate being one of those guys that whinges about problems, so I'm just laughing about it. We've had everything go wrong. No brakes from 8Ks, no clutch, no dash, didn't know what gear we were in, and pace notes were going absolutely awesome, and then, you know, with all the interruptions, we lost those for a little bit, and then in the next stage, no brakes again. So it's been really good fun. It's been challenging, it's been cool.
So out from Whitianga to the 309 road across to Coromandel town. just 11.5 kilometres, but the rain is going to make this a real challenge. Patton looking to tighten his grip on the lead.
And pulling the mud out onto the track for the guys further down too. These roads are very, very fast, used every day by the locals around Coromandel, and there is hardly any gravel on the roads. They may as well be tarmac. It'll be interesting to see what the time is in this stage.
Good crowd too, making their way down to the stage end, and Patton 8 minutes 30.7. Now this is just the second time Brendan Reeves and Ben Searcy have teamed up, but already working really well together in the car.
And that shows the class of a driver like Brendan and a co-driver like Ben. They are professionals in this Mazda, and they're throwing it around like they've been in this car for ages.
Down to the stage end, and Reeves' time is only 2.9 down on Patton. So Matt and Nicole Summerfield have reviewed their notes during service, looking to get that competitive edge back again.
And looking at the way Matt's throwing this car around, out of service, he's seen the times of the other competitors, and he's got a bit of an itch that he's looking to scratch.
And at the stage end, Matt Summerfield third fastest, but 16 down on Patton. Ben Hunt was happy with his pace on stage 1 and 2, but now concern creeping in on this stage.
I think that's actually an issue with Ben's confidence in himself. The roads are wet, so the car will naturally be down on power, but he's been having so many issues with this thing, he's just not confident in himself.
Still fourth fastest though, and now moves up to 6th. And with his brakes working, Alex Kelsey settling into a good rhythm. Just 2 seconds slower than Hunt here. And Andrew Hawkswood, though, dropping from 2nd to 3rd here, despite only being 19 seconds off Patton's time, but he lost time against Reeves.
So obviously Andrew hasn't sat down with Brendo and said, these are the team orders for this event, and he's going to go out and win it by itself, and that's great to see that these guys are going to go as fast as they can.
Phil Campbell keeping the pressure on too, moved up to 9th, but Reese Gardner out with broken suspension. Emma Gilmore made some improvement at service, but still outside the top 10 in the Suzuki.
And Emma's looking slow here. She's looking like she's driving down the middle of the road and focusing on one thing, and that's the stage finish and service.
Coming up, we talk to one of New Zealand rallying's true legends. And the power stage goes down to the wire between Summerfield and Hawkswood. Rod Millard's name was synonymous with rally success in New Zealand and the Americas in the 80s and 90s. As we celebrate 50 years of rallying, he reflects on those golden days.
The days of rally and the times that I was doing them in New Zealand, I'm going to say they were more of an adventure. We got to see the whole country. You know, these were events that were 5, 6, 7, 8 days long. And we'd do hundreds of kilometres of special stage, long stages, often through the night, so we didn't see a lot. Whereas now they're shorter, more condensed, a lot less miles, less of an adventure from what it was in the old days.
And years have not reduced the passion for rally. At its Leadfoot Ranch, just half an hour's drive from the rally start in Whitianga, Rod and his wife Shelley have created a unique festival, inviting cars and drivers from around the world to celebrate on Rod's driveway.
And I always thought, as I got older, it'd be really cool to have a fun driveway to the house. And the road to the house is nearly 2 miles now.
And each February, thousands of fans arrive at the ranch just out of Hahei. And what started as a birthday bash has turned into a major tourism event for the district.
So when I turned 60, she said, well, why don't we have your 60th birthday party on the farm, and we'll invite some of your friends by, and we'll just do just a private hill climb and just for fun and have a great time. Well, we did that and it worked out great, and then we had a lot of people saying, well, why don't you make this an annual deal? And so now it's Leadfoot Festival. We're getting ready for our 6th year here next February. Last year we had 20,000 people show up and 40 cars and motorcycles, and it's an exciting time for Shelley and I as well as all the fans that come along as well.
Now, this car is a modern take on the iconic RX3 that Rod campaigned to success in the very first New Zealand Rally Championship in 1977.
I think what helped my career was my focus was on finishing, and I ended up getting a lot more seat time than the other guys, and so I could develop my skills, my driving, and the handling of the vehicle and all of that. And I think that's what that sort of gave me those championships, was that consistency was the most important thing.
And these iconic cars still have a place in our historic rally challenge. Tony Gosling taking the early lead after John Silcock's RX7 retired before the stage start. Graham Cowie had his Mitsubishi Galant Turbo into second, but stopped on stage 3. That promoted Paul Fraser into second place. While the evergreen team of Mike and Helen Cameron into the podium position in their Lancer. Now, stage 4 would see the drivers traverse the 15.5 kilometre Coromandel stage for the second time, but this time there are power stage points up for grabs. Points awarded from 5 for first to 1 for fifth, so on current form, Patton and Reeves could still steal points away from the championship contenders.
And looking at that road, it's wetter, it's more cut up the second pass through. It'll be more difficult to drive, and that's nothing. Oh my gosh.
Well, bad news for Patton, but Reeves right on hand to take the advantage.
Well, as I was saying, you can see a real difference in the gravel on the road and the level of mud there and the level of grip. And Brendan, as he drives past Hayden, will realise that he now has to drive more sensibly and get to the finish of the stage with time in hand.
So let's see what Reeves can set on the power stage. 12 minutes 55.5.
Brendo, we're here, power stage, and where's Hayden?
Yeah, it was about 5 k's from the end. He's just off on a really slow corner, but it was a heavy braking. So I'm not sure if he just outbraked himself a little bit. It was really slippery in there. You had to really keep on it. The car was always trying to spin on you, so up changed nice and early. And once he was off, we could back it off a bit.
So with that in mind, did you think you do enough to win the power station there?
Yeah, I think we probably did, considering our morning pace. We went on the soft KSA Pirelli that we ran on the 309 road before, and that worked really well.
Matt Summerfield next through, and he'll be pushing for all the points he can get to hold on to that championship lead.
And this is the second pass through the stage for Matt and Nicole, so they would have refined their notes and corrected any errors, so this is going to be full commitment for the Summerfields. Let's see how they go.
Finish 30.
Coming down to the finish line, and the time is 13 minutes 10.1.
Matt, 13.10, sitting second for the power stage.
Yeah, I'm out of 2, so that's pretty happy. But I was happy with my drive through there. The grip's quite low, and I probably worked the tyres way too hard in the one before. But happy with my drive.
Do you think you've done a good enough time to stay in front of Andrew in there?
Not sure. We'll see.
And Hawkswood has the pedal flat through the stage as he chases Summerfield.
We all know that Andrew sees this as his last, maybe final chance to win the championship, and that is really motivating and pushing him here at Coromandel.
Let's see what he can do as he comes down to the finish line for the power stage. 13 minutes 12.8, just 2 seconds down on Summerfield.
Andrew, Matt's pipped you by 2 seconds in the power stage, mate.
Oh, mate, unbelievable. He must have tried hard. Yeah, we tried, but oh well, better man on the day.
But you're still leading him on the overall, so plan is just to keep pushing?
Absolutely, yeah.
We've just got to try and keep some cars between us and him, but long way to go yet. He's plucking the seconds back.
Ben Hunt can spoil the party after such a positive start too.
Ben's going really well here and over those early power issues. He's got a longer wheelbase car, which means it's less nervous. Let's see how it goes here.
So coming down to the stage end for Ben Hunt, and his time is 13 minutes 17.9.
Ben, 13.17 puts you fourth so far in the power stage.
Oh, that's not too bad. We struggled coming down that hill there. The windscreen's got a little bit better than it was coming down there, but you know, tricky to see, and that bit of moisture that's out there is making it probably hard for everyone. So, no, all happy with that, and you know, it wasn't as good as the first run through there, but it's yeah, good.
Next through, Emma Gilmore.
And I think Emma's in survival mode here. She's had such a disappointing year that her motivation is to drive around the car issues and get this thing to the end of the rally.
Now coming down to the end of the stage, and the time for Gilmore, 13.29.6.
You're currently sitting fifth in the power stage.
Yeah, I mean, not that happy with how it's handling today. We changed the centre diff and it's just upset the balance a bit, so just chasing it a bit, which is a bit of a shame.
Alex Kelsey screaming through the stage in 13 minutes 13, so he would take 2 points for fourth place. Sloane Cox will take the final fifth place point, now sixth overall in the rally.
And Sloane's really enjoying throwing this car around in here. It's the reason why he gets up, it's the reason why he goes rallying. Tight, twisty roads, big car, lots of fun.
David Holder had returned to the championship, but the 2016 champion was driving a 20-year-old Subaru, doing well to sit 11th overall. And Phil Campbell now up to 8th, ahead of Gilmore. And Jode Quantock closing in on Gilmore in 10th place. So after 4 stages, Reeves holds a 31-second lead over Hawkeswood, but both Kelsey and Summerfield are putting the pressure on, something which has put a smile on the face of the Coromandel kid.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm as rusty as an old axe and I got no brakes and all sorts of stuff, but it doesn't matter, eh? It's just good fun. And tell you what, it makes you unrusty real quick with no brakes.
Obviously, it's great to see at an event like Coromandel, the amount of spectators coming to see the MC2.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Isn't the support cool? You know, it's been tucked away in the shed there, gathering dust for a couple of years, and the amount of people out to watch it after all that time is to be honest, pretty humbling. It's amazing.
Plan is to hold position or keep pushing?
No, just keep pushing. I don't know what, we've just got to keep a good eye on Matt, but, we'll do the 309 and then that last long stage will be the teller, really.
And you got young Alex Kelsey only 1.9 seconds behind you, so he's going to keep you honest.
Yeah, I know. It's hard being old, eh?
Matt, not sure if you noticed driving past Andrew's team, but they're throwing everything at that car to stay in front of you. Have you got anything left in the bag there?
No, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. I seem to be coming on further and further during the day, so feeling good heading on to the next ones. Try my best to rectify the stage that we did this morning and make it a good run through this time.
And was it satisfying getting a little bit over him in the power stage?
Yeah, definitely. Thought I'd have a wee nudge in there because you don't want to lose points to him, so to take one off him, I'm happy with that.
The Gold Rally Challenge had seen Adam Bly make a great start, absolutely dominant over the first 4 stages in his newly acquired Mitsubishi Evo 8. John O'Walker had tried hard to keep up on stage 1, but engine issues forced him out. By stage 4, Richard Bateman was holding second in the class, but over a minute down. While Quentin Palmer was challenging Bateman just 2 seconds back. Another 20 seconds back, Matt Jensen was struggling to keep in touch with the top 3, but well clear of Warwick Redfern. Redfern and the ex-Dylan Turner Evo 8 trailing Jensen by another 52 seconds. First of the historic Group A cars was the Mitsubishi of Matt and Carl Adams. Jeff Judd had swapped his historic class Escort for an RS 2000. He led the B class on stage 1 before a broken suspension put him out on stage 2. Richard Harding would take the lead in the morning stages in the Escort, only to retire, handing the lead to Dave Taylor in the Honda Civic. So confirming Bly, the challenge leader from Bakeman and Palmer. Now, if you remember this...
1 or 1.2 litres.
It's a very exciting, very safe family car.
Chances are you'll remember what a big star Paul Adams was in the 80s. Well, he's still driving, along with his sons Matt and Carl.
So how appropriate is it, celebrating 50 years of rallying, and we've got a car here with 2 Adams names on the side?
Yeah, I think it's, and the Mo's as well, don't forget about those dirty things.
They're nearly 50 years old, eh?
Yeah, no, it's, we just came back from the 50th dinner as well, and yeah, we got the old boy in the Mazda today. He's doing bloody good, eh?
He's doing good. And so is Matty. Matty's driving really, really well. It's obviously slippery out there. A lot of people are saying that. But I had a fresh tune, so he's adjusting to a new car. But I give him thumbs up. We're looking for the next 2 stages.
So he's listening to you then?
He's listening. He always listens to me, yeah. I'll give him that.
Okay.
Well, at least in the car.
I'll pay you later, butter.
Yeah, at least in the car. Yeah, exactly. Out of the car, we're a different story. No.
Well, best of luck for you guys, and congratulations on so far leading Group A. Trying conditions coming out so far, though. Can you still keep it going?
Yeah, I think we'll just put new tyres on the front and looking at the front runners as well and comparing our times, and I think I definitely got to tidy up my driving. They gave me a bit more horsepower and I'm a bit messy, but yeah.
What he's trying to say is he's catching Cat 5, so he's chasing Cat 5, that's the goal. So he's got to beat himself in the next 2 stages. If he does that, he'll be going all right.
Still to come on Goldrush Rally Coromandel. Who will come out on top in the final stages? And it's a showdown on tarmac for our superstars. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Anthony Jones had his Escort flying through the morning stages to lead the 2-wheel drive class by a minute. But the surprise performance had come from Dylan Thompson and his Fiesta ST150. He'd used superior handling and grip to stay ahead of the Mazda RX-8 of Marcus Van Klink early on. The Mazda very spectacular, and Van Klink and Thompson ending the morning just 1 second apart. Max Tragilgas in 4th, in the other Fiesta another 5 seconds back. Newcomer Nathan Tuff another minute back. Wayne Piddham's making a welcome return to the championship in his Escort. Lost time on stage 2, but making that back on 4. Brent Taylor's FT86 powered by its H6 Subaru, one of the best sounds on the stages. Robbie Stokes outgunned in the early stages in his Corolla, but improving on stage 4. But Jack Williamson having a miserable day from the start. And you've got to admire the style of Jeff Ward. Stopped in stage 1 but got going again, only to exit stage right with a couple of spectacular forward rolls. So it's been a spectacular start for the debut of the new Mazda AP4, built for the 2019 regulations.
Yeah, the new car is very exciting. It's one of the brand new AP4s. It's fully compliant for 2019, so it's got the smaller wing, 1.6 litre turbo. The engine is developing fast, and Norm's working on that, and we're upping the anti-lag as we go. But it's very exciting. The cars, you can feel it chasing the grip all the time, and the way the chassis is designed with a lot of wheel travel, you're keeping the wheels on the ground, which is very important with these camber roads.
And the AP4 concept has been given the tick of approval from Hayden Patton, who's been a force behind the move to a new class of rally car for New Zealand.
Yeah, the concept's got a lot of merit. We can see now there's a lot of manufacturers involved. We have a lot of new cars at the top of New Zealand Championship. I think the numbers are as high as they've ever been, and there seems to be a real buzz around National Rally, and whether we do or don't have WRC Rally New Zealand. So I think that on its own speaks volumes. I think we can continue building it. I think the concept can continue to be refined and to be built to be even stronger and build a bigger championship for the future.
Stage 5 will be a repeat running of the 11.5 kilometre 309 road. And with just a 30-second lead, Brendan Reeves can't afford to back off.
Brendo's still got the wipers on. There's water on the road, but they don't look cut up. And there's a definite line with definite grip there. I wonder if the time will be as good as this morning.
No, he can't. 8 minutes 48.6. His time is actually slower than the morning, but at least it was error-free.
Sometimes in rallying, mistakes can happen, whether it be a fault of my own or the car breaks down. If it's a fault of my own, I'll analyse it pretty hard. We work pretty hard in the car, me and Nicole, so for a mistake to creep in would be out of the blue. If it's the car, well then the team will have a look at what went wrong. Obviously both end up in the same result effectively, which is not what we want, but at this stage of the championship I'm actually feeling more confident than ever. Even though the pressure is on, we've got a job to do and we'll go out and do it.
And when they say you've got something on your mind, oh,
my God. Oh.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's okay.
And that's his rally over for the weekend.
Okay.
So a weird premonition there for the leader. Now Andrew Hawkswood in the hot seat to take over the championship lead from Summerfield, with Gardner also sidelined.
And Andrew won't necessarily know this. He won't necessarily have seen Matt's car off the road, so he's still going to be pushing. I hope he's smart enough to keep this car on the road.
But Hawkswood backed off too much, losing second place to Alex Kelsey, who won the stage. And a chance for Ben Hunt to make his move. Confidence growing in the Subaru, third on the stage, up to fourth place.
You know what, Clint? You say confidence growing, but I reckon his confidence is there. The 2015 champion is back, and Ben's here to stay.
Also chasing them down, Sloane Cox in fifth.
And whilst Matt and his co-driver Sarah Coatsworth are enjoying their time in the car, there's Matt and Nicole doing the walk of shame. Sorry, guys.
And there's that corner. Phil Campbell, he moved up to sixth, now ahead of a hard-chasing Emma Gilmore.
Gravel.
And Greg Murphy about to strike problems in the Holden.
Oh, broken steering. Hold it. Power. No, power steer's gone.
And unfortunately, teammate Josh Marston would also join him on the sideline.
Oh, no. Oh, stop. Oh. No brakes at all. No brakes.
Dave Strong moved to ninth on the stage after a steady run in these conditions. But Joe Quantock losing time and now 10th. And Brian Green 11th, but would retire with damaged suspension. Leaving Andy Martin to finish the day in 11th. Stage 6, the repeat of Kennedy Bay, would be the final showdown on gravel for the rally. This time with the added challenge of rain. A delay for refuel meant that Brendan Reeves would run behind Hawkswood on the stage, although with no penalty.
The organisers made a decision to put an extra refuel in before the stage because they worried the cars were going to run out of fuel. That's meant that Brendo, who needed more fuel than Andrew, lost some time. Andrew jumped in front, and now he's got to reset his brain because Brendan's not going to be sweeping the road for him.
So coming down to the line, Hawkswood, what's his time going to be? 22 minutes 31.8, 20 seconds faster than the first run. So was that enough to close on Reeves? The gap was 30 seconds going into the stage.
And unless Brendan does something silly in here, I don't think it's enough. This guy's been on fire all day. He's loving these conditions. He's loving this new car. Let's see how he goes.
Reeves coming down to the line. And he smashed his stage one time and extends the lead. Alex Kelsey stopped in the stage, so it's Ben Hunt who will take third place.
And you really get the feel that the tide's turned for Ben. He's made that change in the car. The confidence is there. He's got it on control most of the time. I'm really excited to see what he can do at the next round.
4 left. 4 right plus. Keep it 4 right plus.
Phil Campbell also moving up to fourth after Sloane Cox struck problems. In the class battles, Adam Bly won the Gold Rally Challenge and takes home a drum of liquid horsepower. Fantastic drive by Dylan Thompson to head home the FIA two-wheel drive class. Anthony Jones continuing his winning way in the open two-wheel drive. And Tony Gosling continuing the Ford domination with first in the historic challenge. Timing issues on stage 7 meant the final results were actually confirmed after stage 6, confirming Reeves taking the win by 1 minute 15 ahead of Hawkswood, a Mazda 1-2. Hunt on the podium again, Holder showing he's not out of contention yet. Thompson winning the FIA two-wheel drive class, Robbie Stokes moving up to second in the afternoon. Open two-wheel drive going to Jones again. Pittham's making a welcome comeback to the podium. Van Klink third after diff problems. Great finish too, finally plugging away into fourth place Jack Williamson. And the historic challenge going to Gosling from Fraser and Cameron.
Brendo here stealing the Kiwis' thunder again one more time.
Yeah, you know, the Force Motorsport Mazda 2's done an excellent job. I said at the finish line last year I wanted to come back in one of these cars, and we've done it. Ben did an exceptional job in the car with me. We've only done 2 rallies together, so that connection's really important. And a lot of people helped us get here this weekend, as you can see by all the bonnet names. We've had a lot of support and just felt awesome to come back on these roads, let alone winning in the event.
And 2 Mazda 2s, 1-2, fantastic result for the team.
That's right, Force Motorsport done a great job. It was a shame Jack did his clutch in the RX-7 this morning, but the 2 Mazda 2s have done great with Andrew coming second in the event. If it wasn't for me stealing his thunder, so I don't think I'll get an invite back, we'll have to see. But he's done a great job. Summerfield was up there today as well, and he's had an off. So it's been a big challenge, but we've really enjoyed it.
The ideal result for you though, got the championship points and got them over what was the leader, Matt Summerfield.
Yeah, you know, I don't like to see anybody go off the road, but, you know, hey, we'll take it while we can. And, you know, Brendo's obviously taken the win for the day, and, yeah, he's a very quick boy.
And 2 cars out of the Force Motorsport stable, so you'll be pretty happy.
Absolutely, 1-2. Could have done with a 1-2-3, but, you know, next time.
Ben, you've called this a development year, but you must be happy with the result.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, it's been probably a long time coming. So to get second at Canterbury and then third here behind, you know, there's a great calibre of driving here. So yeah, fantastic, and you know, probably even more pleased for the team because they put a lot of hard work into it, and yeah, you know, all the sponsors, and it's fantastic.
And Hayden Patton presenting the winners their trophies in Whitianga. Great sight too, the star for the WRC. And as they celebrate, let's look at the points table now. And it's cheers all round for Andrew Hawkswood, ahead of Matt Summerfield by 7 points. Hunt now third. Look at Holder in the top 5. After a spectacular rally, Adam Bly takes the lead in the Gold Rally Challenge. In the combined two-wheel drive New Zealand Championship, Anthony Jones takes the lead, 1:13, strengthens his position over a great drive by Dylan Thompson. And in the historics, Tony Gosling taking a strong lead there, with Fraser moving up to second. But before we go, here's that tarmac test between Murph and Patton.
Well, Mr. Patton, this wasn't part of my plan. It hasn't quite worked out how I thought, and but a deal is a deal. And here we are, you're taking me for a ride. Congratulations on the big win.
I think it's the most important thing of the weekend, isn't it? We both had pretty bad rallies, but this makes up for it all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Righto. That was pretty good. That's not how you do it though. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, well, we'll do a rematch again. We'll do a rematch in another way. Yeah. Very good.